Begins our Halloween reporting. We are going to be playing Mordenkainen's Haunted Mansion. It's supposed to be a short little adventure for some of these throwaway characters that we have, and let's see who the throwaway characters are as we introduce the players. So, Thomas Davis.
Hello, I am playing the human variant wizard, level 1, Brilzel. And I am really looking forward to comprehending languages and detecting magic on this trip. And then maybe some frontline fighting.
Perfect. Sullivan Mallow.
I am playing the first level rogue, Carve the Slasher. I go where the money goes, and sometimes the money goes to selling body parts to monsters.
Nice. James, I now have Headphones Shaw.
I am playing Cersei, a damper fighter, which I'm sure I did not pronounce correctly. And I'm excited about this character because she is super hot and a vampire.
Secretly a vampire.
Oh, secretly a vampire.
And Matt Soleil.
I am playing Dathran, the human rogue, who is looking forward to stealing literally everything possible.
Awesome. And I am playing as the benevolent DM for this 5th edition game, and I think you guys are just going to do very, very well. Nobody gets inspiration, and there's no long rests. So
Perfect. And we have 2 rogues in the party.
That's right.
Everybody else, cinch up your gold.
And no vampires.
Right. No vampires at all.
Zero vampires, and we all know that for certain.
I'd like to roll a perception check on James in real life. Is that possible?
It is the 30th of Marpenoth, and you are on the streets of Waterdeep. And these streets are alive with activity. The sun has been down for about 2 hours now, and orange lights emanating from jack-o'-lanterns line the streets. Children run screaming by, dressed in costumes purchased from the stores in the upper city or sewn with love and scraps in the lower. Kids of the rich and of the poor mingle, squeal, and call out each other's names as they race between the crowds. A few push their way through your close group as you walk towards the lower city's town square. The children's parents are trying to keep up, their arms full of sacks and bags, eyeing the street vendors and storefronts as they pass, yearning for the hot cider, the cold ale, and the savory smoke offered for sale. This is a festive night, a night of mischief and pranks, a night of delight and horrors. Thieves like this night and the dark alleys, for everyone is preoccupied and everyone unrecognizable. The dark alleys are avoided by the families. From one such avoided alley emerges an old Vistani woman. She looks towards your group and she approaches. She is dressed as a fortune teller. Her gray hair mere wisps as they catch the wind that blows through the streets. As she gets closer, she begins to speak directly at each and every one of you, directing her gaze as she does so. On Liar's night, we set the mood. Pumpkins grin and sweets are food. All children must just ask. On this, the 30th of Marpenoth, hidden beneath their costumes cloth for Liera and the masks. You might think there's nothing new for adventurers like you to do. No, nothing that you would ever mention. But come with me. I'm Madame Eva. I'll take you nearer to the never, in the depths of Mordenkainen's haunted mansion. She motions for you guys to follow her into the alley, and as you turn to look, you see an impossible sight. Embedded in the darkness of the alley stands a mansion high above a jagged island. The path from its door appears to fade into the darkened cobblestones of the alley. Come now, we mustn't keep the spirits waiting. Come, your adventurer waits.
Hey, that looks pretty cool. I think I might as well go in.
Yes, what do you all do?
Brazil is intrigued.
Guys, are you coming?
Yes, let's go. On the way, I'd like to overpay a street vendor for a big cup of hot cider.
There you go, mate.
Thank you, kind sir.
Dathran will follow along if people are moving towards this mansion, but this is the most suspicious shit he's ever seen in his entire life.
He's been alive for like 10 days. Cersei,
Cersei would love one of those cold ales and will happily pay for one.
great. And then do you just drink it or do you follow your group?
I drink it and go home too, while hitting another bar on the way. No, just kidding. Yeah.
All right, well, it was good playing with you.
Yeah,
Jason.
it's
See you
fun.
later.
I start drinking it and following the group.
Your shitty character survived this adventure. Fear not, younglings. No permanent harm will befall you within the mansion. I cannot make the same promise about your minds, however. Have you heard of Madame Eva's challenge?
No? Should we have heard of Madame Eber's challenge?
Hey, I've heard of everything once. It just doesn't always stick. So no.
Well, all you have to do is make your way through this entire mansion, and I shall reward you by telling your fortunes. I am no common country fair huckster, I'll have you know. I am the seventh born of the seventh born. I can see your true destiny. Do you accept the challenge I set before you?
Hey guys, what do you think?
Why not? I'm always down for rummaging around someone's house.
I'm with you there, but the whole mind thing is a little bit spooking me out, you know?
The ways of magic must be followed. And trust in me, my mind is strong.
She may be a little drunk. I mean, it is, a night of celebration.
I mean, who isn't? I don't think that's anything to get caught up about. I think we might as well follow her, right? There could be, like, cool riches and shit in there.
I'm down.
Yeah, we accept your challenge, lady.
Lead on.
Oh, goody. This will be a night we will all remember. She throws some glittering dust into the air, and the pathway to the mountain manifests itself in the physical world, allowing you to step upon it.
This
Alright.
isn't gonna break if I step on it, lady.
No.
You sure?
I
It looks
don't
kind of like
think-
weird.
Yeah, sure, it's weird, but, weird is good. I mean...
I'm gonna poke it very carefully with my finger.
Very carefully you poke it, and it feels solid.
All right, that's all I need.
I jump on it with both feet.
You fall through and die.
Not again!
It only resists gentle poking by a finger.
It's a very subtle spell.
It's called Fuck Sully Scary.
Wow.
I assume we'll cut that audio out.
All right. Seeing our rogue apparently survive, Brazel is going to just walk on, staff in one hand, hot cider in the other hand. His hot cider is in a plain red mug that is a war on Christmas.
Cersei is kind of, sipping her ale and looking around curiously and sort of follows along.
Dathrin's following, but making sure to stay in the shadows and along the sides of anything along the way.
All right. Well, there's nothing really. It's just a path heading up. You can, if you step off the path, it's like you're stepping onto an open spot, like air, but it's solid as well. So like you guys you don't have to worry about falling off the path. And so you make your way up this path, and you soon find yourself at the front of the mansion. A pulsating crimson light glows within, beckoning you to enter.
Oh, I've been beckoned, so I'm going.
Yeah, I feel strongly beckoned. I'm easily beckoned. I'm kind of slutty.
You don't say. You're a female character run by James. That's like saying Thomas's character didn't shop and buy something.
Right.
Yeah, I had to immediately buy this cider, which I'm now sipping and appreciating Cersei's figure.
Let's make our way indoors. All right, who's
right.
opening this? The wizard first.
Well,
Is that
I
how
was
we did it?
leading on the path, so I imagine I wouldn't stop leading.
Go for it.
Yeah, I pull open the door.
All right, you step inside.
It says push.
What does it look like in there? It's brightly lit.
So it's very interesting. As you all step through the door, each of you no longer see the other characters in your party, and you start to get a feeling as if you're falling. And then you each find yourself alone in a pitch black enclosed space. You sense the walls mere inches from your shoulders, face, and back. So I think what we should do is use like initiative order. simply to determine who's going to do what first, and then your individual characters won't know what the other people have done. So on your turn, you just tell me what you do, and then we'll just let each of you sort of do one or two things, and we're doing this virtually.
All right, let's roll. Let's roll for initiative.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yep.
That's a 13 for me.
All right.
I got a 2. You guys proceed.
I got a 7.
I got a 5.
All right. So carve. Sounds like that you get to do whatever you want to do in this darkened box.
Yeah, I'm going to start feeling the walls as best I can. So you said it's super tiny, right?
Yeah. It's like it's just barely big enough for you to fit in. It's like almost like you're in a coffin, but you're standing upright.
Oh, I have plenty of experience with opening coffins.
From the inside?
Well, it's not that much different. And I still have all my gear on me?
Oh yeah. You're not naked.
Okay, I am literally carrying a set of carpenter's tools.
Okay.
So I'm going to use those to try and escape.
All right. So you pull out your hammer and you whack the wall?
I guess so.
Yeah. So you feel the wall fall away from in front of you, and you feel like that there's some space now that you could walk forward in.
Yeah, if there's a bit more space, I'm going to try and light a torch so I can see what's going on.
Yeah, you light a torch for sure, and you're in sort of like a rectangular, like let's say 10 feet deep now, about 5 feet wide and 10 feet tall. So you're like in it because you knocked that wall down.
And do I see anything of interest in the room?
No, even the wall you knocked down, you don't like see it laying on the floor. It's like it's gone.
Is there a floor?
Yeah. You're standing on a floor, but everything's just black.
I'll tentatively take a step forward.
All right, you find yourself in a very tight black box. The walls are very close in the front, in the back, and the sides.
Ah, shit.
Let's move on to Cersei. Cersei, you find yourself in the same sort of tight black box.
Well, my character is used to this because I sleep in a coffin, only because it's really comfortable bed, not at all because I'm a vampire.
Makes sense.
But my real life character, known as James, who's insanely claustrophobic, is having a hard time knowing what to do. So I will.
Well, start by peeing yourself, I think. Pee yourself first.
All right. I pee myself in real life, but my very brave non-vampire character who knows how to get out of coffins very in small spaces easily doesn't panic and just kind of feels around and pushes and looks to see if something will just open up easily.
Okay, so let's say that you push against the right-hand wall and you feel it fall away.
All right. I sort of try to walk out.
All right, so you sort of step to the right.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, okay. You find yourself in a very dark, tiny, closed space. I guess Dathrin is 5. So you find yourself in the same sort of situation that I explained to the other two twice.
I'm going to pull out my daggers and start poking at the walls around me with them.
All right, so which walls do you poke at?
I'll start with the wall in front of me.
All right. Yeah, so you start to poke at the wall, and maybe the second stab, you sort of feel like there's no longer a wall there.
I will crouch and proceed out the front.
All right. You crouch and proceed forward, and then you find yourself in a room that's very tight and coffin-like. You guys are doing great.
So what was the direction?
Brazil.
No, I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm telling you shit, buddy. Brazil.
Okay,
Let's just say James might have fucked up a little bit.
I'm going to take my quarterstaff that I use as a walking stick as well as an arcane focus, and I'll start feeling around my feet to try to get the dimensions of the place.
Okay.
I'm using it sort of like a blind person's cane.
Yeah. So the room is maybe about 10 feet tall,
Okay.
and it's no more than 5. It's probably more like 3 feet, honestly. But because we're playing D&D, it's 5 feet
Okay.
square. So it's probably like 3 feet in all the directions. Like it's you're really cramped. You're not able to raise your arm to your side. You have to sort of like keep it in front of you to poke up and poke down. And you find I mean this is a like I said, it's almost like a coffin shaped box, but you're standing up.
Okay. So Brazil smiles confidently and says something like, "Aha, this is just like the trials of Golgara. Am I being hazed again, fellas?" He raises his voice. Is it just echoing, or do I hear anything from outside the walls?
I mean, it doesn't quite echo. You're in such a closed space that
Gotcha.
there's not really, there's not an echo, but it does sound like you're talking in a box.
Okay. Just like the trials, the aforementioned trials, I assume that this is really just a trick, and one of these walls is either a clever illusion or a secret door. So I'm going to start groping around for a hasp or a sconce or anything that might trigger a door to open, as well as, I know that from experience, if I put my bare hand through a wall or into an illusion, it should disappear.
Let's have you do like maybe a investigation, since you know what you're looking for, but you don't know where it is.
Excellent. That's like my one skill. 16.
Ooh, yeah. So yeah, sort of at the bottom of one of the walls, you feel like a little hole, and you sort of stick your finger in there, and the black walls that are around you immediately go clear. It looks like that now you're in a glass room, and you can see all around you, and what you see are other black boxes everywhere, but you're now sort of in a clear box.
Aha. And if I had to make a rough count of the black boxes, what would that be?
There's about maybe 20 of them.
Okay. And the rest of the area is sort of large. It's like it's the Apple Store, right? It's all white. And,
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
The boxes are overpriced.
So this is a little different than the aforementioned trials, but I feel like we're still in jokes on us territory. So I'm going to re-examine that small. Was there a button or something in there, or was it just the fact that my finger went through the wall that the?
Yeah, there was maybe like a little depression thing that you pressed.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to assume that there's at least some mechanical basis to this trick, and I'm going to look around the corresponding place on the other walls, as well as then I'll work my way up. Because I get the idea that this whatever this hole was, it was close to the bottom of one of the walls.
Yeah, it was like down near your feet.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to start with all the floor and the walls around my feet. Shouldn't take too long if it's a 3 foot or 5 foot square, and then I'll work my way up. I'm going to assume corners first and then the center. I'll just be doing this barehanded.
Okay. So while you're doing that, let's jump back to Carve.
Okay.
Hey, you know what they say? If at first you don't succeed, try again.
I'm going to knock the exact same wall down.
Okay, yes. You knock the forward wall down, and just like before, it falls forward.
All right, what if I've got some experience with coffins, but this is a weird coffin. Oh, I know. Brazil always talks about those stupid fucking trials of Garlhorn. Every fucking day. Trials. All I remember was a small space, and one of them was an entrance.
So I knock down all the walls if I can.
Yes, you can. You knock down all the walls, and the ceiling hits you on the head.
Ah, shit.
You find yourself in a room that is approximately 30 foot by 20 foot. Cersei, who's not a vampire.
That's right. I feel like because I touched the wall and it opened up, and then I was immediately into another similar situation, that I could, as a very athletic non-vampire female, use my athletic abilities and just run and cartwheel out of whatever situation I'm in.
Okay. All right, so roll some athletics.
All right. Oh, 25, a natural 20.
Wow, that's unbelievable for you, James. All right, so you sort of like, start spinning around and jumping and hopping or whatever, and in doing so, you sort of like, hit all the walls and the ceiling and whatnot. And the next thing you know, you're sort of like doing a cartwheel right in front of Carve, and you're in the same room that's like 30 by 20.
Nice.
I hold up a little sign that says 9.8.
Very good. Is that my hotness scale, or how well?
That's what I was going to ask. Is that your acrobatics or your hotness?
Regardless, I am, I do a little curtsy.
Beautiful. All right, Deathrin.
I'm still in a black rectangle.
Yep.
Well, my daggers have never done me wrong, so I will continue forward until I hit another wall and start poking around with my daggers again.
Yeah, okay. If you stab the forward wall and it goes away like you did before and you move forward, then you end up in another enclosed space again. So you're sort of like, you get the sickening feeling that you've basically seen this room before. Like it's hard to tell because they all look the same, but yeah, you think you're in the same room again.
Can I throw a ball bearing on the ground and then proceed forward again and see if it's present in my ahead of me?
Yeah, that's awesome. Go ahead and do that.
All right. I throw down a ball bearing. I stab the wall. I hope I hit the wall. I proceed forward.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, you stab the wall, you step forward, and there's a ball bearing on the floor.
Oh my god. I sit down to critically think about the situation at hand.
Okay. We'll then jump back to Brazel. Brazel, you have started like feeling the cracks and crevices and stuff, and you think that you can feel in some of the upper joints there where three walls or two walls and a ceiling come together. You feel like there's like a little switch or like a little rolling thing that you can roll, and you roll it with your fingers, and then you see you feel like two of those glass walls sort of disappear, and you have like a ceiling still and the two other glass walls, but there's just like bright white room around you.
Okay. They disappeared, right? They didn't like whoosh. I didn't get the idea they swung open like doors. They just vanished. Is that right?
They were there and then they're not.
Okay. So I'm going to stand. I'm going to hold my quarterstaff as horizontally as possible, and I'm going to stand. I'm going to move to where the two walls that disappeared, where their corner would have been. I'll stand at their corner, and I'm going to feel around me with the quarterstaff. Also, what do I see? Am I still seeing the white area around me with like? I'm picturing this as like black columns.
Yeah. So right, you see what appear to be sort of black columns that reach. You can only imagine is the ceiling because you can't really tell. There's no real difference between the ceiling and the walls and the floor in this giant white room, just like there was no real difference in the black room.
Mm-hmm.
But if you feel outwards with your staff into the white room area, it's nothing there. Like it's just open space.
Is there a floor?
If you go tap down, yeah, there's something solid there.
Okay. So I'm going to continuing at an angle. So the diagonal toward the corner that vanished.
Yep.
I'll take a few steps out that way. I'll call out loudly, fellas, anybody here? And I'm going to move my grip to the end of my staff so that I can search, probably about 6 feet around me.
Sure. So yeah, as soon as you step out, both feet onto the white floor, you find yourself in the room with Carve and Cersei.
Oh boy.
Hey,
Well, this is at least is less lonely.
I say, fellas, question mark.
I hold up a sign that says 9.8.
Do I hear any of this?
Catherine, you don't hear any of this at all.
Okay.
You are sitting alone, meditating, I guess.
How big is the room that I'm in with these guys?
It's about 30 by 20, but it's again just sort of a stark white room. It seems like it hasn't loaded yet. It's almost like it's waiting for something.
Okay, and we can see each other. Can we see the white vista in the distance with the black columns, or is it just white walls?
No,
All right,
in here it's just white walls.
guys, I came here from something that was like a vertical coffin. I found my way through the walls into a large white area. I saw what I think might be other coffins, maybe about 20 of them in the distance. And I'm not sure how I got into this room except for moving out of the coffin I was in. What about you? Did you see something similar or very different?
no, I was definitely in a coffin. And then when I got out of the coffin, I was back in a coffin, and that was pretty fucking weird. And then I knocked down all the walls of the new coffin, and then I was here after getting hit in the head, which sucked a little bit.
I have no idea what it would be like to be in a coffin, so I don't know. That's such an odd question. Like I would ever know what being in a coffin is like. Maybe.
Okay. All right. Brazel is just brushing his beard, looking sagely, as if this makes some sort of sense.
But it was definitely a coffin.
James, I gotta say, I love it. You got to keep that up forever.
Yeah.
Even when everybody knows the truth, it just needs to be you're deluded yourself that no one knows.
Right.
That's
You're like,
right.
oh, anemia. Oh, that sounds terrible. That's never happened to me.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. No self-awareness.
Ooh, you bit your tongue and you taste blood? Oh, that's weird. I would never want to taste blood
I
myself.
have no idea what that would even taste like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, this
Oh.
is just carrot juice. I'm just drinking carrot juice. It's not a big deal.
These are heirloom carrots. They're really red.
Yeah. Heirloom carrots. All right, Dathrin, let's get you out of this box.
All right.
You're sitting on the floor.
So I've thought about my situation
Mhm.
and arrived at maybe daggers for the first time in my life aren't the right approach. So I'm going to put them away and fetch out my crowbar. And I'm going to go to the corners of this room and see if I can pry the top or the bottom out.
Yeah, okay. So you go there and you use your crowbar at the top of the room, and you feel like you get your crowbar in there and work it, and it feels like you've popped the top off of this thing, and you kind of like, if you push it up with your crowbar, then it sort of goes away. Like it's like it's opening, but then it's all of a sudden it's not there, and all four walls fall apart around you, and you see a bright white room outside of this black room.
I was very worried when I popped the roof that the floor would vanish and I would be stuck falling forever.
Oh shit. Okay, so you pop the roof, and then the floor vanishes and you fall forever.
Like Bill and Ted.
Yeah, you just keep passing that one ball bearing again and again.
Forever and ever.
Oh yeah, so make sure you take that ball bearing out of your inventory.
Yes.
You only have 99 now.
999. The poor rest
Oh.
of my ball bearings.
I didn't realize you had 1,000.
Oh, yeah.
You should have bought 1,001 so you could do this exact thing. You should have known. But
All right, so I step foot in a white room.
you step foot in the white room, and the room disappears, and you find yourself in the room with the other three characters. And as you do, this room changes around all of you. It's no longer like a white Matrix style, we need weapons room. It begins to take on a new appearance. It has the appearance of a windowless attic, judging by the sloping roofline. Behind you is a blank wall. You can find no trace of any of those dark rooms from which you came. Two torches sputter on opposite walls, casting light eerily across a macabre scene. The floor is littered with dolls. Some are porcelain, some are cloth. Their clothing is dingy and faded. Some are threadbare. But there is one commonality to all these dolls strewn across the floor. They each are missing their heads. You look around and you see no trace of them, no trace of the heads anywhere. Scattered around the perimeter of this room, a variety of taxidermied animals. You see dogs, bears, a displacer beast, along with a myriad of others. Dominating the scene is a shrunken taxidermied Tarrasque. As you take in the scene, the Tarrasque slowly begins to move, lifting its head and fixing you in its empty gaze.
All right, let's roll. Let's roll for initiative.
That's not going to get
I
old at
love
all.
that.
I am not a
T-Pain is calling us to war.
All right, so let's get some init rolls there, and
14.
I will go find the
Let's
Tarrasque.
see if I can beat a 2 this time. Woot, 7.
We got 14, 7.
7.
All right, so you guys got to decide who goes first between you two, unless Dathrin also gets a 7.
I got a 23.
Woohoo!
Cersei, you can go first unless you really don't want to.
I really don't want to.
Okay, I'll go first.
No, too late.
Who's going first?
I'll go first.
Okay, Cersei, damn it. You made me erase. I don't like
All right,
to
Todd,
erase.
he can go first.
Damn it. All right. You now have disadvantage. Yeah. So now I need to roll for the Tarrasque to see what it does. Well, shit, it's going last. So that sucks. I won't be able to kill you until the end of the first round. Okay, so this stuffed Tarask sort of starts to, you can tell that it's slowly, like, looks like it might be growing a little bit from its size, which is right now about, something that you could, like maybe dog size that you could hold in your arms. Dathrin, you're up.
Well, if there's one thing I know about Tarasks, it's that they are absolutely incredibly gigantically huge, right? So I need to kill this thing ASAP. So I'm going to pull out my rapier, slip behind it, and try to give it a stab in the back.
All right, so you crunch your way through a bunch of these dolls. You think you hear in your mind some squeals and screams as you step on them, and you're not very stealthy at all because it looks like everybody hears this sound. Definitely the Tarask does. But go ahead and tell me what your rapier does as far as attack.
That is a 16 to hit.
All right. Yep. You stab a stuffed Tarask. How much damage do you do to the stuffed Tarask?
That's going to be 9 damage.
Wow. I'm assuming first level character, you have nothing else you can do. Is this right?
I'll say quietly to the Tarask, I can't tell if the screams from the dolls were from the dolls or from my tortured childhood.
Little column A.
Yeah, good character building there.
Carve.
All right, it was a good run, guys. But
I'm out.
yeah, I'm out.
I wave goodbye as a bonus action.
Is there a single entrance or exit to this room?
There's no entrance nor exit to this room.
Ah, shit.
And you said there's lots of other taxidermied creatures around.
Yeah. There's bears and dogs, and
Is there like something equally scary as a Tarask?
there's nothing as equally scary as a Tarask.
What's
no.
the second most scariest thing in the room?
Displacer beast, maybe.
I don't think that's gonna really help us. No, okay. I'll run over to the displacer beast if the Trask isn't in my
Yeah,
way.
good luck finding it.
Yeah, no. No, the Trask isn't in your way. You run over to the you run over to the displacer beast and you try to pick it up, but you get a bunny instead. As you go over there, same thing. As you crunch or kick your way through this pile of dolls, you guys all hear sort of like these sickening moans and screams in your brains. But you make your way over to the displacer beast stuffed animal.
Hey, buddy, that would be a good time to wake up. We really need your help right now.
And I start patting it, start doing whatever I can.
Come on. I need your magic to take effect right now. We need you. Fight this guy.
Nothing happens.
Shit.
Do you want to do anything else? That was basically a move, and I would say somewhat of a free action there.
Yeah, I guess I'll shoot it with the crossbow. The
All right.
Tarask.
Okay. I was gonna say displacer beast is like fuck, dude. I was just warming up to you.
And the other rogue, Dathrin, is within 5 feet of the Tarask.
Yes.
Okay, so I get sneak attack damage.
He's 15 feet away. He has a really long rapier.
That would be 14,
All right, that hits.
and then 8 damage.
All right.
Guys, I hate to break it to you, but I feel like I'm not doing a substantial amount of damage to this taxidermy beast.
Wait, so what did you attack? The Tarask?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Cersei.
I sort of pause for a second and pick up one of the headless dolls, and I'm like, ooh. And I sort of slip it in my bag. Does that count as an action?
I would say that's you can use that sort of as a, I don't know, somewhat like a free movement. You can do that along with your movement.
And then I'd like to run over and attack the Tarask.
Okay, so first off, when you pick up the doll, you hear like a little bit of like a like a little coo, like it's happy that you picked it up, but then of course you run through a whole bunch of the other ones, and you're like fuck, and you get over there and go ahead and do your attack.
All right, a 17.
Ooh, that hits.
Hell yeah, it does. And 8 damage.
All right, I guess it's my turn. Brazil.
All right. So, am I able to hear these giggles and screeches and everything?
Yes.
Um,
Yes, everybody hears.
Has anything intelligible been said by any of the critters in here?
No.
Just giggles and screeches. And how did the Tarask react when it took damage? Like, does it seem like it's actually hurt, or is it just shrugging these things off?
It didn't like it, if that's what you're asking.
And does it seem to still be growing, like it's increasing in size?
It hasn't grown anymore just because this is 3 seconds or 6-second rounds. So it looked like it was beginning to get a little bit larger than it was at the beginning. So you assume that it's going to continue to grow. Yes.
Okay. And the only there's nothing in this room that's reacting to anybody but us. Like these dolls are not reacting to each other. They're giggling happily when they get picked up, and they're screaming in pain when they get stepped on.
Yes.
And what happened to the displacer beast? It just sat there.
I think I don't know if Carv picked it up or not, but he pet it and it didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything.
Yeah, all I did was touch it and try and talk to it.
You could try throwing it like a Pokemon and shouting, "Displacer beast."
It's not a bad idea.
I choose you.
Tentacle attack. All right. Would there be any point in me making like an Arcana check to try to?
Sure.
Yeah. So I think that what's going on here is not what meets the eye. I think that these are symbols of something, and not actually just.
No, they're dolls, not
Headless
symbols.
dolls.
Symbols you crash symbols together to make music.
Gotcha. Okay. So let's see what happens with. Yeah, actually, that sounds like what I figure out. All right. Well, it's a 14. That's not terrible.
I figured that out. Yeah, so I think with Arcana check, you think that these dolls represent something for sure. May even be, it's possible that these represent maybe like people like you who have come here and have somehow quote unquote lost their heads.
Okay. And if I remember your original description, there are lots of headless dolls here,
Yep.
but their heads are nowhere to be found.
That is correct.
And the critters, like the Displacer Beast and the Tarrasque, they are whole. They're not missing parts of themselves.
Correct. They are like stuffed animals or
Right.
taxidermied animals.
But it's not like a full-sized Displacer Beast.
No.
These are all.
No,
Yeah.
these are clearly plushies.
Yeah. Gotcha. How many headless dolls of like anthropomorphic proportions are there?
Countless.
Countless. Okay. So I'll tell the team that I'm not sure what's going on, but I think that these dolls are these headless dolls are our unfortunate allies. We should be careful not to harm them. And
Whoops.
I will. I think for my action, I'm gonna try to sweep an area clean between us and the Tarrasque I'm going to take my staff and I'm going to just try to pull as many of these dolls as I can out of harm's way. Not particularly aggressively, but just slide them out of the way so that if we have to, we've got some floor that we can walk on without stepping on them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You can do that. And they don't really coo or cry or whatever when you do that. Some of them might make a little bit of a sound like as you're moving them. They're a pile, so you're moving them into more of a pile. But that sounds like that you're doing a good job, and you're sort of clearing a path that would allow you to sort of traverse your way towards the Tarrasque. You're making a nice path for the Tarrasque to hit.
Right, yeah, good. I got 8 hit points, man. I got hit points all day.
All right, well, it's the Tarrasque's turn. He's gonna whip his little tail because there's at least one person. Cersei, did you go up to the Tarrasque as well to attack?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, so I'm gonna do an odd and even to see Matt or you.
Well, there's 3 of us, right?
No,
It says on my
no.
character sheet that I am not able to be attacked by Tarrasque, which I thought was oddly specific.
That's weird. Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah, that's one of those classic properties that only non-vampires have.
Yeah, right.
That's right,
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
Not a vampire roll.
Unless it's a garlic seasoned Tarrasque.
It's really weird. Like every time Cersei comes over to your house, you have to ask her to come inside.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, totally.
She'll just stand outside for no reason.
She refuses to use the silverware. She just eats with bare hands.
Her makeup's always a little wild, like she didn't look in a mirror when she put it on.
That's beautiful. So just to clarify, James, no, Carv shot the Tarrasque from a distance. So there's only 2.
Okay.
And Matt was odd. You are even, so I'm attacking Matt's character.
That's a little rude.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Holy crap. Nice roll. 16 on the die, plus 5. I'm assuming that 21 hits your
Oh, yeah.
first level character.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm going to do just this massive amount of damage here. It's going to... Oh, beautiful. It's a ghetto crit on the 4-sided die, so it's 6 points of bludgeoning damage. And now I need you to make a strength savings throw.
Whew. That is a 6.
And that makes you fall on your ass. You are prone. Oh, cool. The Trask then, after he does that, he sort of like fluffs himself, and you see him get he grows a little bit in size, and his little beady eyes see the wizard now in a clear path.
Can you describe Fluffs himself?
Can you please not describe that?
He paws the ground like he's about to charge at the wizard. But we go back to the top of the order at this point, and that is Dathrin. You're on your ass.
Yeah.
Somehow prone and on your ass at the same time. Your spine is in incredible pain.
Can I mean, I need to get up and I need to get away. I assume just standing up is an action, or is that like a half move?
That's half your move.
Okay, then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna disengage 15 feet away, trying to shuffle my feet so as to move the dolls and not crush the decapitated doll people.
If you want, you can stand up, you can attack, and then you can move away.
Oh yeah, I'll give him a
Assuming
little
there's no
rapier on the way out.
Opportunity attack here.
Okay, so disengage would be no attack before moving away?
Yeah, disengage is a full action. So I'm just saying, if you don't want to do any damage and you're just going to disengage, that's fine. But if you want to do damage and back away, then you're risking an attack of opportunity that might come, might not come.
I'm not doing an attack opportunity. I'm just going to disengage and move away.
Okay, that is your turn.
I imagine I don't have any actions left, but is switching weapons, is that a full action or like a bonus action?
You can do that like during your move action or whatever. I don't care.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna switch to my my crossbow as I slink away.
Okay, cool. So then we go to Harv.
Hang on, Dathrin, you're a rogue, right?
Yes.
I believe you can disengage as a bonus action.
I do not see that on my character
I
sheet,
think
so I
that's
do not know.
level 2, right? Isn't that?
Oh, okay.
Isn't that something you get?
Yeah, you're not going to get there.
Yeah. Might as well be in China.
Okay, so the Trask is about to charge.
Yep, he's got his credit card out.
I'm surrounded by headless dolls. And there's a taxidermy displacer beast plushie beside me.
That's right.
And it also looks like he just really messed me up.
Is it weird that I kind of want to throw one of the dolls at him?
You tell me. With a name like Carve, I would think that's the least of the weird shit that you're going to do.
That's true.
Hey, sometimes you gotta trust your gut.
I'll throw one of the headless dolls at the Trask.
Why? All right, so just give me a ranged attack.
Okay, I'm going to use strength or dexterity?
It's dexterity.
Okay. Ooh, that's a 7.
Oh, yeah. You throw that doll, and it sort of bounces off the Trask, hits Dathrin, and Dathrin drops his crossbow, and it goes off, and it kills the wizard.
Hey, what? Other times, maybe you shouldn't trust your gut. It's sort of a situational sort of deal.
And in your mind, the doll's like, fuck you.
Hey, don't blame me. Blame my gut.
I hate your god.
Understandable.
Well, that was, so far, an ineffective round. Let's see what the other two can do. Cersei, you're all alone at this Trask. Luckily for you, it looks like it wants to kill the wizard.
Nice. I support it in this.
Cersei whistles, strolls away with her hands behind her back.
I pick up the doll that's in my pocket and I pet where its head would be and say, "Pretty girl, pretty girl." And then I throw it.
man, I'm a dude. What the fuck?
And then I throw it and yell "fetch" and retreat.
Okay. You throw. Okay, so that's good. So how about if we do a contested situation here, where what would that be? Like persuasion?
Bring it on. It would be hold on, athletics.
Yeah. Okay. It's athletics to throw the doll further than your foot. But
how about deception?
okay, yeah, I'll take deception or persuasion.
Deception it is.
All right, I'll do a contested.
Ooh, 18.
Oh, great. Yeah. So -4, I got like a 7. So yeah. So the Trask, you see its little tail shake. It's like, and you chuck the doll, and the doll's like, "You asshole!" And the Trask goes running after it looks like it's going to go running after the doll. Let's put it that way. It no longer has the gaze on the wizard, since these are very short. Everything's happening at the same time.
I yell,
so.
pretty girl, and give it the finger.
Yeah. I was gonna be your best friend, you bitch. Mom always told me don't trust the women. All right. Do you want to do anything else, Cersei? That's sort of like an action, but you haven't done a movement or anything.
Nope, I'm good. I feel pretty satisfied with throwing that doll across the room.
Perfect. So, Brazel, you see that it looks like that the Tarask's eyes are following the doll that is being thrown across the room.
Okay, I am going to take advantage of that and not try to draw attention to myself from the Tarask. The first thing I'm going to do is whatever anthropomorphic doll is closest to me, or actually maybe the closest 2 or 3 of them. I'm going to sort of say under my breath, "My friends, we don't have a lot of time to help you. Give me a hint as to what's going on here."
Well, we can't really see what's going on here, but it sounds like there's, I don't know, maybe 4 of you doing some really bad actions against what I can only assume is a stuffed Tarask, it sounded like.
Be more constructive with your criticism.
Sure. It sounded like one of you was doing something really good, and then for some reason everybody started throwing us, which is not really a great idea as far as I'm concerned. If we're being honest here, do you want to roll something to see if the DM actually tells you anything more? Because otherwise, this is a puzzle that you guys are great at puzzles.
Sure. So maybe I should roll insight or something.
Nah, I guess I don't know.
Investigation, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. My voice is getting really high now, so whatever you gonna do.
Guys, there's a helium leak in here. All right, investigation.
Sure.
Oh, nice. 14. Actually, yeah, that's not as bad as I thought. 14.
With a 14, I would say that you definitely have picked up on the fact that it seems like a good thing for you to potentially pick up a doll, right? That was the only time that you really got a positive feedback thing from the doll. The distraction is not bad for the Tarask. Cersei has done is thrown the doll, but the dolls aren't going to probably do any real damage to the Tarask. Your best bet is to stop the Tarask, whatever that is. And I mean, you can think of I assume you can think of a couple things. This is basically a stuffed animal, right? And you guys can fight it as if it's an actual Tarask, or you can fight it as if it's a stuffed animal. And I think that's probably what a 14 gives you.
Okay, all right. I think that's great. All right, so I'm tempted to say that's just free action, this discussion, but it's okay if it was more. Just brief back and forth.
No, yeah. I mean, if you're doing like when you do skill rolls and stuff, that's basically like something that I don't think that it's not like you had to go read books for this. This is sort of like you having a little bit of insight or investigation based on what you've gleaned. You're a wizard, right? You think about shit all the time.
I can't stop. All right, so I whichever doll was most helpful, I'm going to probably, as a bonus action, pick him or her up and put the doll in my pack. And
All right, it was me. I'm the best one. I was the one that helped the most.
All
My name's Rudy.
okay, I recognize your voice, Rudy. All right, it's you and me, Rudy. Help me as much as you can, and I'll put him.
All right, man. We'll do that. We'll go to Four Seasons.
All right, I'll put him in my backpack, and I'll shout.
It's really nice in here. I like the stuff. It's really nice. This is really cool. Is this a picture? Is this a picture of this backpack? It's really nice.
That's very helpful. Thank you, Rudy. And
I got to kill him off soon.
I'll shout to the others. I think that I think we might be fighting seams and sawdust more than legendary monsters. Let's tear them apart at the seams. And then I will attack the Trask with my staff. The idea being that I have only one weapon, so it's when all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. So I'm going to quarterstaff him at what I hope is a seam. I want to try to burst him, if at all possible.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. So I will give you advantage on this roll.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So let me see if I can hit. Ooh. Advantage is a not natural 20.
All right. Yeah. So for sure, you hit him, and it's right on sort of the back seam as he's running past you to sort of catch this doll in the air, and you do like bust one of the seams, and you can see some of the stuffing starting to come out. But the Trask grabs the little doll in its mouth and like shakes it in that dinosaur-like maw that it has, and of course the doll's like actually it's not that bad.
Okay, awesome.
Dathrin.
If you needed
what were
a
you
damage roll, it was 4.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Dathrin.
I wish I had stocked up on health pots before I came in here. Has the Tarask actually chased after the thrown doll yet?
Yeah, it got it, and it's
Okay.
shaking in its mouth.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna scatter some of my ball bearings between it and between me and the
Okay.
Tarask.
Yep. So you toss some out, and then do you fire off your crossbow?
Yeah, I'll shoot off my crossbow.
All right.
Ooh, that is a 14 to hit.
Yeah, that hits, and I assume that you're following what Brazel mentioned, and so you sort of cut another one of the seams, and more stuffing starting to come out of the back of this Tarask.
Beautiful, yes. Aiming for the seams.
Yep.
Ideally the same seams, but I don't know how good a shot I am.
Yeah, no, 14's perfect. Yep, you can hit where you want to hit.
That is 4 damage.
Okay, yep, carve.
I'd also just real quick like to whisper to the dolls, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. I killed so many of you earlier. I'm so sorry.
That's my bad.
Make it up to us. Make it up to us.
I'm working on that.
Okay.
I have a 2-step plan, and step 1 is dealing with the Tarask, and then I will make amends, I promise.
Is the second step stepping on us again, you asshole?
No. That's actually the opposite of what the second step is.
All right, Carve, what's up?
All right, Carver's got a little scheme in his little brain hole right now, and I know exactly what I need to do.
So I'm gonna run up to the Tarask, and the seam that was broken. There's a small hole in there, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to stuff a flask of oil into that hole.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna try and light a torch and stuff that into the hole.
Okay, so maybe that's a little bit of.
I don't know how many turns that's gonna take, but
I mean, I think that you can go. You can have your oil. I don't think you have a lit torch yet, but you could have your oil. You can stuff it in there, and then you can probably light your torch, and then next turn you can probably.
Fire in the hole, guys. Back away from the stuffed animal. Oh, fire in the hole in 6 seconds.
Exactly. Yep. All right, so that's a good thing. You go up there and do that. Cersei.
One thing because I didn't use my entire turn last time that I meant to say that I did, was reach down and pick up another doll because I feel like that might be helpful in the future. I don't know when.
Yay!
And
Yay! You picked me up.
I whisper to it, "Don't worry, I'm not going to do that to you." But then, like, I look to the, I break the third wall and shake my head.
And luckily, the dolls don't have a head, so they can't see you do that.
Because I am definitely going to do that again. And I guess, so how far away is the Tarrasque from me? And is there any?
It's probably about 20 feet or so. I don't know how far you threw that doll.
And is there any other danger in the room
No.
other than the emotional damage of all the headless dolls?
Right. No, that's it.
Okay. Well, I'll do my. Can I run over and attack with the scimitar again?
Sure.
Here we go. Oof. 10.
Yeah. So you don't hit the Tarrasque where you wanted to hit it, but it sounds like that you sort of break the flask of oil inside of the Tarrasque.
Oh, okay.
Brazel. Did we lose Brazel?
He said AFK for a minute.
Oh. All right. We'll skip Brazel then. Let's go to the Tarrasque. The Tarrasque continues to chomp and swallows the doll, and then turns its head back towards you guys and fixes his eyes on the wizard again, and paws the ground. He's gonna fuck that wizard up if he can. Daphne.
I will start by firing off another shot at a seam.
Okay.
I don't know. How far away am I from it, actually?
Probably the same. Probably like 20 feet.
So I wanna move to it while taking out my tinderbox.
Okay.
And I wanna try to light this guy up, and then
Sure.
obviously use my last 10 feet of movement as fast as possible afterwards.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. So you go up there, cause a little spark. The oil has soaked through the stuffing, and it catches, and then you back away, and the Tarrasque pulls out some cigarettes and starts smoking. Well, no, it just starts smoking. And it catches on fire, and very quickly it goes from a simple little spark and a little bit of fire on that oil to that oil is lit, and that the Tarrasque is engulfed in flames, and you hear a little gleeful sound from the dolls as the Tarrasque just sort of goes up in flames and is no more.
Excellent.
As it's being consumed in fire, I am also working to move the dolls away from its burning body.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
As my action of amends.
All right. So as this Tarrasque starts bursting basically into flames, what do you all do in this room? Anything?
I mean, first I congratulate the whole party on starting a fire in a room that has no exits or visible ventilation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, once all the oxygen's used up, then it'll go out. Wait a minute.
So do you guys do anything else with the dolls or anything before?
I take the doll out of my, pocket or whatever it is and toss it back on the ground.
Okay. Does anybody else do anything with the dolls?
I'm going to help Dathrin move dolls out of harm's way.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask Rudy if
What do you need?
Yeah.
I'm here for you. What do you need?
we're doing our best for you and your pals. Are we missing anything obvious? I think this Tarrasque is done for.
I forgot to tell you, but, I can't really see anything, because, I ain't got a head yet, but maybe if you put a head on me, I might be able to help you out some.
I think that's a great idea. It's a shame that you all have lost your heads, but we don't see them anywhere. Where might they be?
I don't know, but did you say you got rid of the Tarrasque?
Yes, yes we did.
Oh, good. I'm very glad you got rid of that Tarrasque. He was a bad guy. I couldn't see him, but I felt like he was not a good guy. He wasn't really a team player, if you know what I'm saying.
No, definitely not.
All right, Carve, are you doing anything particular in this room?
So there's a raging inferno?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually search the walls for a secret.
Okay.
Look for seams and cracks in the wood and marks on the ground and stuff.
Okay, great. I'm not going to have you roll anything because as you start doing that, you're having a conversation with Rudy there, Brazil. Suddenly, the room appears to be filled with headless dolls. They seem to jump up off the floor. But then you realize that they didn't jump. You have dropped. The floor beneath no longer holds you firm. Instead, it allows your body to pass through and you fall down, 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 and then hit the stone floor. And you take 2 points of falling damage.
Am I dead? Wait. No.
Did you die?
I'm so close.
Okay. And you find yourself in another place.
Are we still surrounded by headless dolls?
No, the headless doll stayed on the floor. You guys fell through it.
What about the one that was being carried?
I'm still here.
Great.
Where am I going?
Oh, so, Rudy,
Yes.
all right, how would you like to have a bell as a head?
I don't know if I like it or not.
Well, I can use some charcoal from the Raging Inferno that got on my fingers, and I can draw a little smiley face on the bell, if you would like.
I don't know if that rings true for me.
Great bell pun. I still have this 9.8 sign, so I can use that to rate your bell pun.
And you can turn it over too. 8.6. You land.
You're offering this guy the opportunity to become an actual bell end. I'm glad he's not accepting it.
Nice. Nice. You land in half of the basement. Wait, yes, you land in half of the basement of the mansion. The basement has been cut in half, and there's a lot of the words half in this explanation, so I didn't write this. You land in half of the basement of the mansion. The basement has been cut in half, and each half is floating in mid-air about 200 feet apart. Between each half is a literal hellscape. The plane of Avernus fills the gap between these halves. Various devils fly between these halves. You see several pit fiends and Erinyes among the lesser horned, bone, and spine devils. 300 feet down, you see a plain of molten lava. The basement is crammed with tools, equipment, odd contraptions, and a variety of materials and supplies. On the wall, above one of the workbenches, is a framed oil painting. The painting depicts a group of 4 individuals in front of a black wagon with a red stripe. The wagon has been heavily modified. Pieces of armor hang from the front and sides, and a ballista has been mounted facing rearward in the bed. The 4 individuals are a dwarf, cigar clenched between his teeth, a haughty, well-dressed half-elf, a crazed-looking gnome, and a half-orc with a mohawk haircut. Looking around the basement, you realize you may be able to find a way to cross the gap using the materials present. You think if you cross quickly, the devils won't have enough time to react. Also, you find doll heads. So if any of you want to look for a head, doll's head, we can do a little bit of dice rolling because it's random what doll heads you might find. So whoever has a doll can sift through the stuff here and find a doll head.
Okay.
And then you guys can look at the basement contents and figure out a way to get across.
So Brazil starts humming. Dun, 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 dun,
Yep.
dun, and looking through the contents.
There is a box of broken clocks of varying sizes. There's tinkerer's tools, smith's tools, carpenter's tools, alchemy tools, leatherworker's tools, mason's tools, and jeweler's tools. There's a pile of lumber of varying dimensions, a large pile of armor pieces, a large mine cart, a pile of rocks of varying sizes, a keg of smoke powder, 10 yards of fuse cord, a bag of nails, several coils of rope of varying sizes, numerous old weapons, a variety of bottles, jugs, and barrels, an old wagon with 4 extra wagon wheels, 20 yards of mimic intestine, which has the same properties as a rubber hose, 7 broken gnomish flyers, just like large canvas wings, and 4 cannon of different sizes. So that's what's in the basement,
Wow.
along with potentially a doll head that is still intact that you can find. So do you want to start by rolling for your doll's head?
For Ruby's head.
Yeah, and I'll ask Ruby to describe it, and Rudy to describe the head and tell me, give me a hint. I think I might have found your head, buddy, but I can't necessarily tell it apart from any of these others. Can you give me a hint, or can you try to move your mouth?
Just put your hand down into the big pile, sift around, and pull one out.
So there's several die rolls you have to do here. So give me a D6.
All right, I rolled a 6.
A 6. All right, then give me another d6.
All right, a 4.
All right, a 4. And give me another d6.
A 5.
And another d6.
Another 6.
All right, now we're going to do some d4s. Give me a d4. We're going to do 2 d4s.
This is awesome. Okay, that's a 3 on the first one.
Okay. All right.
And a 1 on the second one.
Okay.
And
I need 2 d8s.
first D8 is a 2. Next D8 is also a 2.
Okay. And then last roll is a d10, and I'll tell you what kind of head you picked up.
This is amazing. It could be anything with all of these rolls. All right, a 4.
4. All right, so here you go. When you reach down, you pick up a head. You find a porcelain head that has black hair, but in a balding ring. So I think you might have gotten Rudy's head by random. There is something a little bit interesting about it, however. It has white fish scales for skin. It has a confused, God dang it, this is amazing that you did. This is Rudy. It has a confused look on its face, and it has two, its eyes. It has both eyes, and they have like those little sleeping eyelids. Like if you lay it on the back, the eyelids close. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. But its eyes are glowing red.
Creepy.
So, yeah, I think you actually got mine.
Well, I mean, the odds were pretty good. I think it was just only about 2,200,000 to 1 there. So yeah. So I'll put the head on the doll and say, "How's that?
Fantastic.
How's that, Rudy?"
Why, I believe that's the correct head. So you have obtained a magical doll from Mordenkainen's haunted mansion.
Awesome.
I'll send you this page. Each of these dolls has a special ability that may benefit the character who possesses it if you spend a night sleeping with the doll in your presence. Once a night has been spent with the doll in a character's possession, the doll and character are bonded until either the doll is destroyed, the character dies, or a different character bonds with the doll. Each doll has 3 spell slots in which to cast their spell. After a long rest, the doll regains all spent spell slots. So I'll send you that because he doesn't have his spells for this one, but for any future adventure, you have that.
Awesome.
All right, figure out what you're going to do with this stuff.
So the basement is cut in half, and we've got your typical, gaping hellscape in between. This keeps happening. And is there any obvious reason we want to get to the other side again? Like, there's
a door on the
exit.
other side that says, well, there's 2 doors actually. One that says end and one says begin.
Okay. And there are no doors on our half of the basement.
There are no doors on your half of the basement unless you make one out of wood.
Guys, we have to get over there. Any ideas?
We build a slingshot and shoot ourselves across. I may not be the best at building.
When I saw these mimic intestines, that was actually my very first thought. Are any of us small, or all of us are like human-sized?
I'm small.
Well, that's true, but you and me are buddies now. I don't want to throw you anywhere. Unless, could you actually help us, Rudy? Could you help us from over there? Can you move around on your own, or do you need to stay in my pack?
I can't move.
Okay, well, hang tight then. We're gonna figure out another way.
I'm just gonna stay in here.
Are there any obvious features where we could just lasso with a rope or something over there?
No, it looks like it's like an empty version of the room that you're in.
Guys, I think we have to build a tank.
How far across is the room?
200 feet, I think, between the 2 halves.
And you did say it's 100 feet down to lava, is that right?
300 feet down to a beautiful pool of lava.
So we are suspended in the air?
Yes, and there are devils and things flying through the gaps. They don't seem to, see you at this point. These guys have no clue. You are sort of extra-dimensional space that they don't see.
Is there any material on the other side besides stone? Or is everything over there made out of stone? I guess the doors are not stone.
No, the doors are not stone, yes.
But everything else is stone?
Yeah, pretty much everything else is stone.
Guys, if we could get one person over there with a rope attached, then the complexity of getting everyone else over goes way down. I don't know if that's the angle of attack we want.
Yeah, I got 50 feet of rope on me, but if that's we need about 4 or 5 of those to bridge that gap.
Yeah, there's a bunch of rope in, varying sizes in that pile of shit that I sent you guys.
Yeah, several coils of rope, very inside.
If you hook them all together, they're 199.5 feet.
Well, I have an additional 50 feet of rope, so that's more than enough.
Damn it.
Checkmate.
I should have waited till everybody said what they had.
All right, so I guess maybe the first thing to do is to start tying together over 200 feet of rope while we think of what else we're going to do. Do you guys have any idea how to get over there? We could try the slingshot. We've got these gnomish flyers. I think these are like hang gliders. They're broken, but we might be able to repair enough of them to make a glider that would get us over there.
Yeah, here's what I've been thinking. So we get one of those cannons, and we stick a chunk of wood in there, right? And on the front, we sort of throw together a glider that's a little bit bigger than a gnomish glider, because, none of us are gnomes. And then we use the propulsion of the cannon to get it kick-started and glide across the gap.
That actually sounds pretty good.
I think with the lava below us, we'd actually have more than enough hot thermals to just jump out on the glider.
That's a good point, too. Yeah.
We're 300 feet above. We might go too high.
So would we load the cannon with a piece of wood and some of the smoke powder? I think that's the only explosive we've got, right?
Yeah.
If we were going to do that. Well, so maybe we should try that, and then after that guy dies, if that doesn't work, we can try a different approach.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at carpentry, so I can start assembling the glider.
All right, cool.
Although I will say my expertise mostly comes from disassembling coffins.
That's the same thing.
We might need some expertise in assembling coffins in a second.
Okay, I guess whoever goes on this should have the rope tied securely around their waist. So I guess Brazil will just work on getting the rope as secure. We want over 200 feet and double knotted as well as we can.
We went over 200 feet, but not 300 feet or close to 300 feet.
Correct. We're going to aim for like 242 feet.
All right, should I roll to try and construct something?
Yes, that sounds like a great idea. Roll and to try to construct something. I think that's under try and construct.
Well, I have proficiency in carpenter's tools, and I've described what I'm trying to create.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm just screwing around with you.
That would be a 12.
All right. Yeah. So you do construct something.
Something.
Yeah, out of the gnomish gliders and some wood and stuff that you could potentially stuff into a cannon.
All right.
All right, guys, round of applause for Carve. I did it again.
Woo!
Thank you.
So let's pack this cannon with what we think is a safe amount of smoke powder, and but I guess before we do that, we're going to run a short length of fuse cord through. It's probably got a lock. It's probably got but there's a fuse hole in the back of the cannon. We'll feed the fuse cord through there, then pack it with smoke powder, and then put there's some old clothes here, I think, right? We'll use that for wadding, put old clothes on top of the powder, and then we'll put this wooden projectile on top of that. Sound good?
I see absolutely no way that this could possibly go wrong.
I feel like we've totally solved this puzzle already. The rest is just a matter of collecting our riches.
All right, I'm so confident in my own creation that I think Dathrin should go first.
Dathrin will do what Dathrin has to do. So he'll climb in there, but he's not going to be excited about it.
I think somebody with more hit points should probably go, right? You're pretty close to death already.
I am not feeling well.
Oh, okay.
You look
What about
fine
the
to me.
Let's say, unlike the 9.6, I believe, female of the party, I'm at a 2 out of 5. As it
Don't
were.
do that to yourself. You look great.
You're at least a 3.
At least.
All right, so I'm not very crafty, but I can go if nobody else wants to go.
Crickets.
All right. Everybody steps backward. All right, so Brazil will tie on the wings. Rudy, do you want to make this first effort into flight with me, or do you want to stay behind for this?
I'll go with you, buddy. Well, you go out with you.
All right. I like fist bump his little fist.
Ow!
I make sure that the security rope is tied to me, and then make sure that it's also tied to something else on the other end. What are we going to tie it to here? If there's nothing in this room that's we could obviously tie it to, then we'll use some of the nails to make an anchor. Is there a place we could tie it off, or can we create a place to tie it off?
You can't really tell if there's there's nothing, there's like no beams or anything. So at the worst case scenario, if you make it across, then someone could have to hold the rope. But yeah, I think that if you took some nails or whatever, you could potentially hammer them into the ground.
There's 4 cannons. We could just hook it onto another cannon.
Yeah, you guys hold the rope. You're gonna have to reel me in if this fails. And
Yeah.
I'm going to take some nails and a hammer with me so that if somehow I get across there, I'll be able to attach this to the door frame.
So you can shrapnel yourself instantly with the nails as you get shot across the
Right, exactly. Yeah. I'll put them safely in my back pocket prior to the explosion.
No, don't put them in here. Not with me.
So yeah, if there's a safety helmet in there, I'll put that on too, and I'll smile and I'll give a thumbs up, and I'm ready for them to like fire this cannon. My whole idea is just guide the wings toward the door on the far side.
Mark, do any of these kids have a life insurance policy I can take out real quick? Or
No, there's not. So sure. So you light this cannon and boom, it goes off and it shoots that board that was stuffed into it that you're sort of harnessed into out of itself, and you exit the first half of the basement, and immediately the devils see you and they focus upon you, and they start coming towards you, but you're on a glider and you're going pretty fast and you're pretty sure that you're going to make this gap. It seems really good. And then you remember that he rolled a 12 and one of the wings sort of snaps, and you start to spin and spin and spin, and you hit the opposite side. Give me like an athletics or dexterity to see if you can grab hold of the opposite floor of the basement.
And see, guys, this is why you don't step back and make the wizard do the athletics.
What do you mean? You got the spells. You could have cast Gust of Wind facing downward and made
Yeah. As a first level character, of course I have a bunch of third level spells. Okay, so
show us the magic.
probably acrobatics is my best bet, and even that's really lousy.
Yeah, so, something that's either dex or strength based. Go for it.
Okay. Crossing fingers, acrobatics roll. 13.
Yeah, okay. Wow. Yeah, so you pull yourself up just as a devil comes to take your boot off, but he just misses, and you roll yourself into the basement, sort of still connected to this contraption, but you've made it across.
Woo! All right. The first thing I do is scrabble toward the nearest door, and if it's got a handle, I'm going to loop the rope around that so that it's less likely that I get pulled back into literal hell. And then if I have time after that, I'll start trying to nail an anchor into the door frame.
Okay, I'm just going to do a little die roll here real quick. Doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. So I rolled a 20. So I'm going to say that you do a great job at fastening this. There is no way this rope is coming off.
All right.
All right. So now I need, if you guys are going to tie the other end to the cannon or something, I need some, I guess, dexterity or athletics to get across that rope as fast as you can. It is 200 feet across. So I don't know what your movement is, but I doubt any of you can move 200 feet in a single round. But if you can, fantastic. And let me know who's stepping out into the hellscape on the rope.
I'll step out using athletics into the hellscape on the roof.
All right.
Oh, all right. 24.
Oh, 24. Oh, yeah. So you're able to get up on that rope and you start going across, and then the devils come swooping at you, but you're steady on that rope. So when they gore you with their terrible weapons, you do not fall from the rope, and you stick skewered onto their spears, and it's a great, beautiful death. And then you find yourself in the room with Brazil.
All right. That was confusing.
Who's next?
Wait, did he just die?
Yeah, he you saw him get skewered by the devils.
I don't really want to go out there if I'm gonna die. So feel free to go ahead.
But Cersei's reappeared next to me, right?
Cersei, for you, yes, has reappeared next to you. For the others, Cersei is skewered on a...
Got it. Okay.
I'm going to go through this pile of armor pieces, and I'm going to find 2 shields. And I'm going to take a little bit of this rope, and I'm going to tie the shields on either side of me, and then I'm going to put myself and the rope across the gap between these shields, so that all I have to do is just pull with my arms, and the one shield like slides across the top of the rope.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to shimmy across this guy as shielded as possible, while praying very loudly the whole way.
Okay, so I think I'm going to require something dexterity based.
I think we should also have to hear the prayer.
O Father who art in hell, unhallowed be thy name.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. Your dad's in hell? That's terrible.
Yep.
I'm in hell, literally, right now. I'm hoping his presence is here as well. So, dexterity based. Let's give this a little acrobatics roll. That is an 18.
Ooh, 18's really good. Yeah, you're kind of sliding across. You're going a lot faster than you would have gone had you run. And you can see the opposite room approaching very quickly. And then there's a knot that you use to join these ropes together, and it stops you dead about in the middle of the gap, a little bit closer to the other side. And one of the devils shakes Cersei off of their spear and then dives towards you. But the thermals coming from the heat sort of make him go a little too high, and he doesn't stab you like he wanted to, but he does catch the edge of your shield, and you plummet down into the raging lava below, and your 1 or 2 hit points that were left quickly dissipate, and you die. But then you find yourself with Cersei and Brazil in the other room.
And I have turned into a very religious man.
We're like, what's that smell? Does that smell bacon?
Who you calling a pig?
Carve, you're left alone.
Oh my god. Is there, where are you guys? Is anyone still alive? Hello?
You see Brazil across the way.
Brazil,
Come on, man.
I don't want to go. I don't want to die like the other two.
Just try not to die.
All right, because that works so well for them.
Yeah. I think they just didn't try hard enough.
Why are you taking this so calmly? We literally have a 50% death rate in this singular room. The odds are very much against me.
If you want, you could tie yourself to the rope, cut the other end, and we'll try to pull you across.
There is no way that's faster than me running.
Or you could come up with some harebrained scheme to launch yourself across from the cannon as if you were a wizard. Come on, man. You got to get over it. I think it's okay. I mean, I see Cersei and...
Yeah, I see them too. They're fucking dead.
No, they're right over here with you. Catherine and Cersei.
All right, don't try to play dumb with me. I literally just watched them perish. Don't be like, oh, they're fine. You're gonna be fine. They just died.
Yeah, there's Parrish, and then there's really Parrish.
All right. I take a couple steps back. I cross as many things as I can cross, and I go for it.
All right. You just running across?
Yeah.
All right. So that's like athletics or acrobatics.
Yeah. I'm good at acrobatics. Oh, that's 22.
Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. Yeah, you go running across, and you definitely make it. And at the very end of your full running movement, the devils, they descend upon you, and one of them just looks at you and is like, "Really? You know, I've already killed 2 of your friends."
I know, man. What can I do, please? I don't want to be like them. I don't want to die.
So you don't want to die like your friends, is that correct?
No, I don't want to die at all.
This
They just happen to have perished in addition to me, which would happen.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oof. Oof, that's a 7.
Oh, he's like, "Well, I was gonna let you keep going because I wanted to see where
All
this
right,
went."
wait.
but
Let me show you something. So they call me Carve the Slasher.
That's a cool name.
I know. It's because I like to slash things. Let me give you a demonstration.
Okay.
I'm going to attack him.
Look at these prices.
Yeah. That's awesome. Everything must go.
Oh my god, I crit.
He really does know how to carve.
You crit against this devil, and he's like, "Ah, damn it! Why was I talking to him?" And then he starts falling towards the lava below.
Oh, and since I have the feet slasher,
Mm-hmm.
I reduce his movement speed by half.
Yeah, no, he's plummeting. I think you've caused a mortal wound on this small devil, but you feel like a little bit of rocking, and you look back, and there's they're cutting the rope, and they cut through the rope, and you fall towards the lava, and it hurts like hell as Carve is roasted alive in this lava.
I hate you.
You find yourself in the room with your other 3 companions, and you've made it across.
And when I appear in front of them, I'm absolutely screaming at the top of my lungs.
Yeah, and the 3 of you that died do have a level of exhaustion. You do feel very you have 1 hit point and a level of exhaustion, and you feel very, very bad. But you're there. You're still alive. You are in a room. There's a start and an end door in front of you.
Guys, I think we better make a choice pretty quickly.
Oh, I'm all for end. I just died.
Any other votes?
No objections.
I say we flip a coin.
Okay, why would you want to start?
Because I feel like I can trust in things beyond me to save me like they just did.
You should pray on it.
Never before have the gods worked in such plain, obvious ways than when they just answered my prayers.
I assume start means start of your new life.
Right.
Wait, does it mean like start getting loads of money?
Yeah.
I would think so, yeah. I mean, what else would it mean?
I don't know, start over and have to do this whole spookums again?
Start kicking ass and taking names.
No, I'm pretty sure it's loads of money.
All right, I'm convinced.
Okay. All right, Deathrin, you talked us into it. Let's go.
This is not what I talked us into. I talked us into flipping a coin, but that's fine. I'll go with the group. I will...
Well, if you want to flip.
I'm going to whisper a prayer. Oh, gods, whoever you are that answered my prayer, please let this be the start of my retirement with wealth. And I'm going to crack that door open. All
right. You crack open the door, and it's just sort of like a white room in front of you. Do you go in?
I'm going in.
All right. Does everybody follow?
I follow.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I'll follow.
I guess so.
Don't split the party.
It is the 30th of Marpanoth, and the streets of
Aye.
Waterdeep are alive with activity. The sun has been down for 2 hours now, and orange lights emanating from jack-o'-lanterns line the streets. An old hag comes out of the alleyway, and she's like, "Come with me. I have something great for adventurers to do."
I shoot her with my crossbow.
You've solved the mystery of Mordenkainen's haunted mansion. Congrats.
All right.
Do I see a doll-shaped silhouette in a pocket?
Oh, yes. You still have your doll.
I still have my doll.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't
Brazil.
think anybody else got a doll.
Nope, no one else got a doll.
This is my pinch me in my dreaming moment. Beautiful.
Yeah. Rudy, did all that just happen?
I don't know. I was sleeping in your backpack.
Yeah, well, I can't blame you. It's not like anything exciting was going on.
Nah, seemed like you guys had it in hand.
Yeah.
I was just, I had nothing to do.
Ritual incinerations and stuff. That was pretty run of the mill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's typical. I think that's typical in the basement.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, happened.
All right. Well, I mean, did we? I suppose we could play this again, or play this again next Halloween, and see what happens if we go through end.
That's right.
Something tells me if we go through end, it's the same thing.
No, it's not actually.
All right, cool.
That I shouldn't tell you that.
That was beautiful. I enjoyed that greatly.
A lot of
Yeah,
fun.
it wasn't as creepy as it could have been. We can do creepier ones another time, but so these little creepy characters you have, we can use them again sometime.
I don't know why you keep calling my character crappy and little.
Oh, all except James's character.
Yeah, this is my new permanent character.
Okay, I see. So when we roll up first edition characters, you're gonna roll her up.
Correct.
Okay. Good luck with that.
Mark, I don't see vampire, not vampire as an option here, so...
I will say that, Jesus, James, good rolling. Like, there were no ones at all.
You really should stick to this character. I mean, I don't know if you got crits, but you got lots of rolls in the 20s, didn't you?
Yeah.
That was impressive.
Tell your friends.
Very unlike you.
It's a new day.
Given that we've just started recording this, people don't understand that James is coming off of like a 5-year
The dry spell on anything
never
above
rolling in
5.
double digits.
I know.
Yeah.
It makes these amazing characters, does these amazing things, and then your character just is shit. because it can't get past the single digit rolls.
And then after the first couple of years, he almost never rolled the D12 instead of the D20, and it still was getting better.
Right. I forgot about that. That's right. Like the third most experienced D&D player in the group, and he's rolling D12.
Whoever taught me how to play D&D sucked.
Yeah. I would never play with that person again.
Mark literally said one time, "You've been playing D&D for 5 years. How the fuck do you not know how this works?"
That's right. Yeah, it was amazing. I think when we went to D&D Beyond, it really helped you because you didn't have to learn the sheet. You could just go,
Right.
oh, there's a button.
I just go
press.
click on the button. Yeah.
And then still roll a 1.
And then maybe it's this new mouse. I got a new mouse, and now my clicks are
probably.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, it clicks better.
That's right. It clicks way better.
I downloaded more RAM. I finally have the memory for higher rolls.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough memory left.
Didn't have enough memory to score a value of 20.
The registers just didn't go that high.
Shit.
Got like 4 bits. I can get up to 16, guys. I can't get any higher.
Ah, shit.